was it just a fantasy? There you were, beautiful as ever. Okay, welcome back everyone to the fourth installment in this series, Dancing with My Mother. This one is going to be titled Capture My Heart. And again, I'm going to be going over a poem that I wrote that you can now listen to. It's now been turned into music. You can listen to it. Just search for God Willyk, GODWILLYK, wherever you listen, and you should be able to hear most of these, actually all of these that we've been talking about. So in this one, it's gonna be probably the trickiest one for me to explain, but I'm gonna try, so bear with me and hopefully it will make sense. What I can say is that this one is definitely more of me trying to really put into words what I was feeling at the time. And the best way I was thinking about it is I was flipping through some pictures and I was remembering some things that had happened in the past. So I think those pictures go back to, let me see here. I have some wedding pictures when my mother came to Oklahoma City for my wedding back in 2006. Oh, that's 19 years ago. And then she came, after the wedding, she came back. I don't remember the year exactly. But I think it was after we had our first child or thereabout. And then she came back one last time. It must have been after we had our first child. I don't know. But she came back again one last time when she was sick. That was back in 2015, sometime there. And I was looking at those pictures from back in those days. And of course, when someone passes away, there's a lot of sharing of memories. You get caught up in someone else's story, how they remember that person. So myself and my siblings and nephews and nieces were sharing pictures, and that's where this story, this poem really comes from. I have one picture that I'm going to use as a thumbnail, and this was after she had been sick and she started getting better, and she was looking healthy. She had lost a lot of weight, and we went to a restaurant called Pops here on Route 66 in Acadia. It's it's close to the Oklahoma City metro area, but it's not exactly in the area. But it's a nice place. We like to go there from time to time. This place they have, it's a gas station, but it's also a restaurant, and it's on a historical route. And they have when you go in there, they have a wall full of freezers, and in the freezers you're gonna find pops or sodas or drinks from around the world, and I think that's why it's called pops. And when we go there, I like to get some ginger ale, and other people like to get other things. There's also a restaurant inside, so you can order food and sit down, and they'll bring it to you at the table. That kind of stuff. And I have a picture, and in this picture, my mother is sitting next to my wife. I'm sitting across the table from her, and I took this picture, and she's eating ice cream and apple pie. I think it's apple pie. And the apple pie is one of those quintessential American things. We usually eat a lot of it at Thanksgiving, but in this case, I guess they serve apple pie for dessert at Pops. And she has a smile on her face, and she's looking directly at the camera. And it's one of those pictures that whenever I flip through pictures of her, when I get to that one, I always stop, because she does look very different in this one compared to all the others. I have this, when I go on my photos, on my Google Photos thing, you can label faces or tag faces, and Google will know that person, so they can, whenever you type in the search bar that name, it'll pull out all those pictures. So that's what I do sometimes. I'll just type, Amai, and it'll pull up all of her pictures for me. And it's one of those that whenever I see it, I just stop and can't help but look at it, because that smile, if you knew my mother, you'd know she had a signature smile. Most people in our lives have signature smiles. And this is one of those pictures that just shows you how bright that smile could be. So I believe this is what led me to writing these words here. And this one is one of the shortest ones, by the way. So I probably won't have much to say here, but it's one of the shortest poems that I've written. And I'll just go over it, and I think it's about 3 verses. As far as the song version of it, it kind of repeats, but it's really 3 verses. So the first part says, "For a moment there I froze. Could it have been true, or was it just a fantasy?" And that's just talking about all of these memories. The times that we had, Some of the pictures came from my siblings, and if you see some of my thumbnails for this series, I didn't take some of those pictures. They were provided to me by my siblings, and I wasn't there to witness some of those moments. But as I go through these, and like the one that I just described, it's like some of those moments were too good. People might say too good to be true. It'll be some of those moments where you're like, hey, somebody pinch me. I might be dreaming. I see pictures here of my mother when she turned 74. I wasn't there, but she looks beautiful, and there are people around her I see pictures of, you know, me, my brother Farai, and her. It was Christmas time. We're in Dallas, Texas, with our kids and our wives then, our families. And there's pictures with my nephew Tamuda from when he was a little kid, and now he's a grown adult. There are pictures with me and my wife when we went to Zimbabwe after my father passed away. And my mother is she's in almost every picture. We went out at the airport when we were leaving, coming back home, where we went to eat with my sisters and her. When we visited my auntie and my brother Maxwell's house, my cousin Michael's house, was my auntie's house, and at the village where they laid my father to rest. She's there, And in these moments, there's a picture here when she was in Oklahoma and we threw a birthday party for her. Like, we had so much fun. That's what these moments show me. And some are like serious moments, but still, you can tell that wherever she was, there was a lot of joy. Now, there's some pictures also of the time when she was sick in Zimbabwe before she came to America and she got treatment here. She had lost her hair. She had lost a lot of weight. Her bright skin had turned dark, and it's kind of, her smooth skin was kind of blotchy and turned dark. So but the people around her, you can see the smiles on their faces. And in some of the pictures, even when she is so sick, you can see that she makes an effort to smile. And in one of those pictures, there's my cousin Nelly and my nephew Tamuda, and they're smiling and she's smiling, but you can tell there's pain, But that's the life that she made possible for all of us. That even in hard times, there was light around her. You had hope, and we had hope for her. So when I look at these pictures, there's moments moments that are frozen in time, but also there's moments where I just look at an image and I'm frozen in that moment as well. And I have to remind myself, that was real. That was not a fantasy. Those moments were really good. The thing about this Pop's restaurant, she loved it so much. She talked about it. Like I said, it's a gas station, but it's an iconic place. And we do have to drive there a little bit to get to where it is. But like I said, it's not like we took it to a 5-star restaurant or anything. But there's a picture, some of the pictures, of her and Steph and the kids and myself, and the joy was real for her. The moments were appreciated by her as well. And that's what gives this reflection so much meaning. So the next part says, there you were, beautiful as ever, the pearl of my heart. And I know that, you know, for most people, or for a lot of people, our parents shape us and they give us something that no one else in the world can and no one else in the world ever will. And that is their place. I can see it in my children as they're growing up, and I can see the investment that my wife is making into their lives, that their mother. And I can only hope, I can only pray for them that one day they'll be able to realize just how precious a mother's love is. Now, I know they have love for me. I don't doubt my place in their lives. And I'm sure it's different. For some people, maybe their father held that very special place for a variety of reasons. But there is a place in my heart where my mother cannot be replaced. You know, her love and my love for her cannot be surpassed. Now, that's a love for a mother. It's not a romantic love. It's not anything like that. It's not a ranking of loves. It's just a special place in my heart. And I've told other stories that, I keep saying this, if you go back and listen to the other episodes where we talk about the imprint she had on my life, you will get an understanding. And you will get an understanding of why I keep saying that. But I'm sure if I were to be speaking with someone and they will talk about, hey, I was raised by my grandmother, they might have a similar place in their lives, a similar place in their heart where that grandmother is a pinnacle of that type of love. Or if someone was raised by an aunt or by an adopted family or by your father, again, not to diminish the role of man, but you could have someone that you value so highly that to say they're the pearl of your heart would not be a misuse of the language or an abuse of the language. My love for my wife holds a very different place in my heart. I can say my wife is my first love and talk about my love for her, but that's not comparing the two. And then this part says, you know, after I say, there you were, beautiful as ever, the pearl of my heart, you know, and after that frozen moment, the next two lines say, I knew then all would be well with me. And this again talks about in the moment when she passed away, I knew I was going to be okay. I knew that the work she had done raising me had prepared me for this life to carry on. But I can also look into each and every single moment of reflection, and I can say, even in those moments, I knew then all would be well with me. I've captured in these pictures some of the times she was sick. You know, in some of these pictures that I have before me, you can't see them. She's in my house. We had made a room for her, and there was a bed and there was a recliner there. And when we were there as a family, my brother and his family, she might be sitting on the recliner, would be gathered around her. And these are days when she was really, really sick, and she was fighting, to get better. And those were scary moments. But even in those scary moments, you don't see a lot of her suffering and pain. You know it's there, but you keep seeing this radiant, this beautiful smile. And it's reassuring that she is fighting, but she has hope and she still has joy. And there are pictures of her in the hospital, she's all hooked up to things, but again, even in those circumstances, she's still smiling. And that was reassuring even then. So, because, at the time with this routine, when she was here and she was in the hospital, my wife would spend the night with her in the hospital, and I would spend the night at home with the kids. In the morning, my mother-in-law would come to the house and I would go to work, and then my wife would come home and she would get some rest. My mother-in-law would watch our kids, and after work I would go to the hospital and spend some time with her. And there was always this feeling, this hope that she was going to come out of it. You know what she did? And I'll say this just so it's on the record and everybody knows. She was a Christian, so we prayed a lot, and we prayed to God for her to get better, to get well. So when I talk about, her hope, her joy, that's where it was. I might not say it in every episode or in every sentence that I speak, but that was the hope and the joy. And you could see it externally and something that you could feel. The next verse says, "That unblemished being you were captured my heart again. Words can never explain, but still a lot was said." Now, the word unblemished, people would say no one is perfect, and I would agree 100%, no one is perfect. But love can be. Love can be perfect. My mother and I, as I got older, we disagreed on some things. And, I would hold my ground and she would listen. And she would say, "Well, thank you for saying that to me. I see what you're saying." And sometimes she would come around to my point of view, or she may not come around to my point of view. But it wasn't as if the end of the conversation was the end of the relationship if we did not agree. It's not like I would hang up the phone and say I would never talk to her again because we did not agree on a point. No. She always respected my point of view. She raised me enough to have the confidence that even if we had different point of views, that she could trust what I was doing was right. She may have a different way of doing it. She might have a different way of approaching life. But she trusted that what I was doing was right. And just a side note here, I do the same thing with my children. I know what I went through to become the man that I am today. I know that on my own, I made some choices that I had to learn from for myself. No one, could really walk in my shoes for me. But the campus that she put in front of me was always pointing true north. So even if I went off course, if I veered off course, I always knew where the truth was. So the unblemished being is not, oh, someone is so perfect that they can do no wrong. But her love for me was so perfect. The things that she desired for me were always good. And the path that she pointed my feet always led to good and right outcomes. And that's what captures my heart. That's the unblemished part of it. And it says words can never explain, but still a lot was said. That trust that, you raise up a child in the way that they should go, and as they get older, they will not depart from it. You get to that point that a lot was said in just the listening aspect of it, just by the loving aspect of it, just through her counsel, that you don't always have to have someone come into your situation and A, B, C, D tell you how to do things. But you can always remember what it was like when they showed you how to do it right. So as a parent, when I'm raising my children, I intentionally want to create moments where later on down the road, I don't have to say much. I don't have to use words a lot if they come to me for advice or counsel. But there can be a reassurance in just picking up the phone and calling me and saying, "Hey, Baba, I have a situation here." And just knowing that I'm listening would have that same weight, that same value for them as adults, for them as grown-ups, as it did when right now they're children and I have to correct them and I have to guide them. And I hope that makes sense. There's a time to say a lot, especially when children are young. But the reason that I do it now is because there's going to come a day when I know as a parent I cannot say a lot. But they should still know that even though there's no words coming from me, there's still a lot of value in me being in their lives. And I translate that message directly from my relationship with my mother. As I got older, she was more of a sounding board to me. Wise counselor. But she didn't have to say a lot. Those are things that, sometimes, words cannot explain. The third verse says, "To see you go saddened me. Hope tomorrow I'll see you again, because love never gives up hope." When there is a going away that is permanent from this life, she's done that. And there's a hope that I know I'll see her, in heaven, because that's what my love hopes for, my heart longs for. But this also captures all those moments where I saw her and it could have been for the last time. When I left Zimbabwe, I had a hope, that I would see her again. When she came to my wedding, I had a hope that I would see her again. When she came to visit, after we had the kids, I had a hope that I would see her again. When she came when she was sick, she got better, she went back. I always had a hope that I would see her again. When I went to Zimbabwe after my father passed away, there's always a hope that I want to see her again, and I wanted my kids to see her again. Up to the very last day, I always had hope that I would see her again. Now, the natural way of life is everybody passes. So we know that some loved ones, some friends, we may never see them again. And the final hope is the eternal hope that I'll see you again in heaven. But this verse captures all of that. All those moments, all those hugs, all those kisses that I got from her. Never wanted the last one to be the last one. Always longed for and hoped for the next one. The very last one says, "Rest well, my love. I will shed many tears for you. I will shed many tears for my lonely heart. But my love never gives up hope." And that kind of puts a nice little bow on how I was feeling. That letting go. I can hold you in my heart, and I still hold her dearly and real close to me in my heart. But I have to know that tomorrow, even today, in that moment, I had to know that she's gone from this world. And there's a moment to cry. There's a moment to shed those tears. If you read the Bible book in the Ecclesiastes, the writer writes that there's a time for everything. And there's a time to shed tears of loss, pain. But there's also time like today to reflect with joy. Even though my heart is missing her, it's no longer the heavy sadness that fills my heart anymore. But it's the hope. When I see that smile on her face, it's okay to know that it's a memory that I'm in love with right now. It's the memory of her that I'm dwelling upon right now. That I can shed a tear when I remember what it was like to be loved by her in this world, to be held by her, to be smiled upon by her. She did have the smile that would make you feel like you were the only person in the world when she was looking at you. And that's okay too. But my love never gives up hope that one day we'll meet again. We'll spend an eternity in heaven, doing all the things that God has in store for us for eternity. Well, if you've listened this far, thank you again for listening to this podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Beautiful as ever, the pearl of my heart. I knew then all would be well with me. That unblemished being you captured my heart again. Words can never explain, but still a lot was said. To see you go saddened me. Hope tomorrow I will see you again, because love never gives up hope. That unblemished being you captured my heart again. Words can never explain, but still a lot was said. To see you go saddened me. Hope tomorrow I will see you again, because love never gives up hope. Rest well, my love. I will shed many tears for you. I will shed many tears for my lonely heart. But my love never gives up hope. Rest well, my love. I will shed many tears for you. I will shed many tears for my lonely heart. But my love never gives up hope.